So this year I became obsessed with budgeting and financing, and I read a lot of books on the subject, and one of the best ones I read was The Richest Man in Babylon by George Samuel Clason. Now this book is almost 100 years old, but there's three lessons that I learned from it, and they're lessons that you actually learn from a lot of books that are out there on the subject. So when you're on the journey and you want to go from being broke and having no money to actually having money, you're going to pick up a lot of books by a lot of financial experts. A lot of them like Robert Kiyosaki or David Bach or Sue Zorman or Dave Ramsey, and they'll all say the same thing, and it's basically you need to pay yourself first. And in this book, in the parable, it was called Start Thy Purse to Fatten It. And also in the parable, there were people who were like, how is that possible? I can barely survive on what I make now. Honestly, no one's saying it's easy, but we really need to learn to think as if we make less than we actually do. And that way we can save at least 10% of our income. So lesson number 2 was make of thy dwelling a profitable investment, aka owning is better than renting. Now obviously in certain markets, Toronto, New York, San Francisco, Tokyo, wherever, that's next to impossible. It may not be achievable, but whenever you can, you should be trying to own your property instead of paying a landlord. So lesson number 3 was that we cannot afford to be without adequate protection, aka emergency funds and insurance. They are very important. So in life, you have to protect yourself from a lot of things, and saving as little as $1,000 can help you to not derail your savings plan, your goals, you're paying off your debt, etc. So basically you want to, after that, move to saving 3 to 6 months worth of your expenses. And you also want to make sure you have insurance on things. So no sense in buying new fancy things and then they're going to break on you, you don't have insurance. So these things are really important, but at the end of the day, it does come up to it's a plan. You have to brainstorm, you have to think about what works for you and what amount you should be saving. That's going to keep you content and keep you peaceful and basically just keep you stress-free. So those are the 3 lessons I learned from this book, and I really suggest that people read or listen to The Richest Man in Babylon. It's a great book, and it's a parable, so it's really easy to digest.